Yo, so this is the first of my Fire King combo profiles. This one that I'm going to show you today is just with a Ulcanix and a Kirin. It's a nice one. So we're going to go Ulcanix, declare effect. If our opponent has no response, we're going to go call, chain link to use Kirin, target and destroy the Ulcanix. Then on res of the Ulcanix, we destroy the Kirin to search. So we are, at this point, going to search the Ponix. So now we're going to have some chain links. So we're going to go Ulcanix 1 to block it from like an Ash Blossom or something, Kirin 2 and Ponix 3. Summon the Kirin, summon the Ponix, Kirin will summon back the Ulcanix, and then the Ulcanix effect will trigger to summon out the Ulcanix. Yes, I know it should be defense position, but for the sake of this, I'm just putting it in attack. Right, now on a new chain, the Ponix effect will go off, and it will add us a Sanctuary. Activate Sanctuary, place the island. Island effect, pop our Ponix to add Fire King monster, Sacred Fire King Ulcanix. Trigger in hand as a fire monster is destroyed, and then it will summon an effect on summon to destroy from the deck. Destroy the Avata, very, very powerful card that we need access to. So now Avata will trigger to bring back our Kirin, because it's the level 8. And this is where we have a bit of a decision tree. So depending on extenders, game state, etc., you can go into the Coach King to draw for non-engine if you want to like dig into your impulses, or like a Gozen match or something. It's really powerful. You can do that, and to burn for a little bit potentially. Alternatively, what I would do, like kind of, irrespective of game state, alternatively, say there's an Ash Blossom in the opponent's grave, you baited out a play with like a bonfire, they've negated it with Ash, you would go like this first. You would go for the Photon Lord, and then what we're going to do, go into the heater, we'll say bring back an Ash Blossom, link it off into the princess, bring back, it doesn't really matter, but we'll bring back this and go into the Amblo Whale, which gives us a nice bit of follow-up because we can pop it. But if we go back, rewind the game state a little bit, so what we had was these cards on the field. We can go the typical play. If there's absolutely nothing else in play, we'll get rid of these for the IP Masquerena. Let's bring that down a little bit. Sorry, into the IP Masquerena. Link off those for the Promethean, bring back the Avata, link off here for the Amblo Whale. And it's a very simple, very straightforward combo. It looks really unassuming. Let's bring that into the out of the light a little bit. So that's what we pass on. Opponent standby, we'll add back the Ponix. It can become important during the turn, so we'll just keep that there for now. So this is what it would look like. Ideally, we want to sequence our interrupt in a certain way. So we would like, ideally, to use the Avada first, or I would at least. So we'll use it to destroy fire, negate a monster effect. Blow Whale, when a link monster, or when this card is destroyed, you can summon a level 3 or lower link monster. I'm going to bring back the IP, which is why we make it to start with. Okay. We can also, on that chain of destruction, we can use the Ulcanix effect, or we can hold it till a bit later if our opponent hasn't committed any cards, because what we will do is use this effect to destroy from deck, destroy the Kirin, which will then send a card our opponent controls to the graveyard, non-targeting, and then summon one from ours. We can keep the ball rolling here. On summon, Ulcanix can pop a fire. We can use our spent Avada to add a card. And this is where the Ponix in hand might come in useful, because it gives us fodder. So we're going to search another copy of Kirin. This gives us plays from the hand. and that will then, on a new chain, our barter effect, when it's destroyed, will summon one from grave. So we're going to summon back another level 8. And that is important. So now the sequencing does become a bit more important. So I want to go IP into, say, an SP. And I'll banish a card. And then we would ideally like to banish this to do the second disruption of SP. And then if our opponent can hit another card, we'll use the Sanctuary effect. Overlay into the Governix Eternity to Regeki our opponent's field and everything on our field apart from this, hence why we won the SP off the field. And then, so say it resolves, all good, our opponent puts another extender down. We've got our last level of interruption now. We'll target that and this fire monster, pop it with the Bestower of Flames. So then we've got a few options there. We can go, if we think that's the last they've got, we might want to prepare for our next turn. So we can choose to either trigger the Ponix. We're almost definitely going to trigger this. Revives Fire King monsters up to the numbers of materials it had from the grave when it was destroyed, which is nice. So we're going to bring back these two. We can then, like I said, if we think our opponent's probably done, we can go for the Ponix and search out a piece of follow-up. We can go for the Circle, or we can go for the Skyburn, whatever we think is most useful. So Enphase, that will return, and we've got a lot of follow-up. That's a lot of damage on board, especially with the Circle, and you can trigger these. So off of, the Mini Princess and the Kirin, it's quite a nice lot of interrupts. So yeah, it's not bad as a kind of rogue deck goes. Really cool deck that I'm having a lot of fun playing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you.